Alright, boys, so I was sitting here thinking about this the other day. And pretty much, Colby Covington has been talking about Jorge Masvidal, saying that, I ended his career, saying this, saying that, and Jorge Masvidal's career is in critical condition, and it might not make it. And then when I really thought deep into it, and really thought about the state of Jorge Masvidal's career, Colby had a point, man, and a solid one. Jorge Masvidal's days at the top may truly be over. I'm not going to go out on a whim here and say that his career in fighting is completely over. I never say never with any fighter nowadays. But it's really depending on the drive of Jorge Masvidal and just how much his 37-year-old body can take. Yes, like I said, Jorge Masvidal is 37 years of age. Not to mention the guy has been fighting for 20 plus years. There's a point where your engine just burns out. And this may be the time for Jorge Masvidal. Not to mention the guy just got knocked out a few fights ago for the first time ever in his career. And then on top of that, Jorge Masvidal just got humiliated by Colby Covington and then just pulled the antics he just pulled, ending him up in jail. Jorge Masvidal is still technically a prize fighter, yeah? But even whenever you look at that, he doesn't even have a lot of big money fight options. Whenever I sit and I truly think, and I think of other guys that may be in his position, a rematch with Wonderboy, that's not even a guaranteed win for him. The fight with Leon Edwards is completely off the table now, and the fight with Nate Diaz may still be valid. People are talking about Conor moving up to 170, but I just don't think that that fight is likely. And what I mean by that is, I don't think Conor is gonna fight him. I think Conor, although he's been on some crazy talk lately, whenever he's done talking ridiculous talk like fighting Usman for the 170-pound title, I think Conor will get his head screwed back on, get motivated again, and make that cut back down to 55, or fight Nate Diaz at 70, and then make that cut back down to 55. Meaning, I don't think Conor's going to really stick around the welterweight division too long for Jorge to fight him. I think Jorge could go the route of the Wonderboy rematch, but like I said, that fight was a tough fight for him in the beginning, which was, 5 years ago? That fight was a tough fight then. Jorge has had the resurgence, and now he's back on the decline, and even though Stephen Thompson's also on a decline, that fight may just put them back at their level playing fields, and Jorge could get dominated again. And plus, I don't see that as a pay-per-view marquee fight. That may just be a headliner of a fight night somewhere. Or actually, what am I saying? Jorge's too big for a fight night card. So possibly a pay-per-view co-main event, maybe. Anyways, it would literally be probably the same fight that it was in 2017. A 3-round fight and Jorge just gets outpointed on the feet. Jorge spoke on the Joe Rogan podcast before his fight with Ben Askren, saying that 38 would be the lucky number that he's retiring at. And that may be even more prevalent, because when even Jorge brings himself back to the deck, unless he's making a drastic cut back down to 55, which, like I said, at 37 years of age, very unlikely. Unless he does that, his options are not very broad at 170. I'm sorry. The fight with Diaz makes the most sense, but Nate is looking elsewhere. He's either looking at fights with Dustin, fights with Conor. It feels like Nate has lost interest in that rematch. And Jorge Masvidal, it's very sad for him, because when I watch this guy make his resurgence in the division, knocking out Darren Till, which was a legit win, a good win for Jorge, which really told me, like, okay, this guy belongs at the top of the division. He is skilled. And then he goes and knocks out Ben Askren with a flying knee in 5 seconds. Now, say what you want about the Ben Askren win. Dude knocked the guy out in 5 seconds in the most spectacular fashion. You don't say that that win was overrated. Sure, skill-wise, Ben wasn't completely there. And I don't think Ben Askren would have done well in the UFC even if he was in his prime fighting in modern day mixed martial arts. He's too one-dimensional. You can't afford to be a specialist in this modern day MMA. Jorge Masvidal's best performance, and I mean this, the best version we ever seen of Jorge Masvidal was when he fought Nate Diaz. And he beat Nate Diaz in a way that no other fighter beat him. That fight was not close at all. And although guys were saying that Jorge was slowing down, which now seeing his past few fights I can believe, it still wasn't going to go in the favor of Diaz. Jorge was just probably just going to win like a 40, no joke, probably 50-45 on the judges' scorecards, if I'm being honest. And it seems like after that, Jorge started sipping his own Kool-Aid and the discipline started really slacking. He fought Usman, and I just believe that his head wasn't in the game anymore. He was living that celebrity life. He was hanging out with Jake Paul, doing all these things, hanging out with the Nelk boys out in Miami, and doing all these celebrity type things, going to different UFC events. And it just seemed like Jorge really just wasn't disciplined anymore. The guy even states that he doesn't follow a clean diet. He doesn't do any of these things. So he's not disciplined enough to hang at the top. And this has been something that has been prevalent in his whole career. The guy always fell short whenever he got at the very big ones. And although whenever I seen him beat Diaz, I thought that was destined to change when he finally fought for the title, well, I was wrong, sadly. But I want to know what you guys think. This truly may be it for Jorge. If he continues to go down the path of the 170-pound title, there's not a lot of fun matchups for him. And whenever you sit and think about it, if Colby could do that to him and Usman can knock him out, why couldn't Burns knock him out? Why couldn't Hamza Chimaev take him down and strangle him? Why couldn't Vicente Luque beat him on the scorecards? Why couldn't these things happen, you know? Does he truly even belong in the top 10? We'll never know. Why can't Leon Edwards technically outpoint him for the majority of the fight the same way Wonderboy did? We truly just don't know if Jorge was ever top level. But it's been your boy Trippy. Jorge's one of my favorite fighters. It's sad to see him fall off. And I'm out, man.